Now, after casting your ballot, after voting, please listen to this in capital letters. Stay at the polling station. The law allows you to stay 20 meters away from the polling table. Stay there and observe the rest of the process calmly and attentively. And we've always encouraged you, we continue to encourage you to use your camera. Even if the internet might be switched off, please use the camera and document on video everything that will be going on at the polling station. Please keep your eyes wide open at all times. When the counting ends and the results are declared, please remember that the law is on your side. Remember that. The Presidential Elections Act requires that once the counting ends, a copy of the DR form, and DR means Declaration of Results. So the law requires that a copy of the DR form must be immediately posted and displayed in a very visible place at the polling station for public view. Insist that the presiding officer at your polling station does this. Insist that the presiding officer, wherever you're voting from, pins a copy of the Declaration of Results form at the polling station, and please take a picture of it using your phone. Once the DR form is displayed, let as many of you keep and share that picture. We'll find a way that I might not talk about now of putting and bringing them all together. Now, to our polling agents and other volunteers, the law also allows you to escort the DR forms and sealed ballot paper boxes as they are transported from the polling station to the sub-county or division headquarters, where our agents will already be waiting and watching closely. We encourage you to please escort them, especially you, our brothers and sisters from the border community. Section 58 of the Presidential Elections Act requires all returning officers to electronically share with us in real time copies of each and every return form, tally sheet, and DR form. As soon as they shall have completed the addition of the votes in their respective areas of operation, we shall expect them to strictly comply with this provision of the law. Now, comrades, should the regime attempt to steal our victory, demand for it. Mukabanje. It is allowed in the law. Our constitution guarantees your right to assemble, your right to march, and your right to demonstrate in case they rig election. Do exactly that without waiting for mine or for any other leader's order. Mukanonye, mukalonde, mukakume, era mukabanje. Now, I want to remind all of you, fellow Ugandans, especially you that are skeptical about your right, those of you that are doubting their right in Uganda. Uganda was not built by cowards. This country was shaped by men and women who refused to accept injustice as a destiny. Every generation of Ugandans has been tested, and every time they are tested, the people have answered back firmly. In the 1920s, the Bataka movement rose when Ugandans were being pushed off their land and told to obey quietly. They refused, they organized, they resisted, and they won. They declared that no system, foreign or local, has the right to turn the citizens into beggars or into slaves on their own soil. In the 1940s, the African farmers said no to the exploitation through the Uganda African Farmers Union. They challenged the economic oppression head-on. They taught us that poverty imposed by injustice is itself a form of violence and must be confronted, resisted, and defeated. In 1953, the colonial government exiled the Kabaka, and they believed that fear would break the people of Uganda. But Ugandans responded with mass resistance. The Kabaka crisis showed us that authority without legitimacy will always collapse under the heavy weight of popular resistance and defiance. And when the time came for independence, Ugandans, our forefathers and mothers, did not ask politely for freedom. They demanded for it. They sacrificed for it. They paid a price for it. But ultimately, they achieved it. Independence was won through courage, not through fear. It was won through unity, not through division. It was won through unrelenting pressure from the people. Now, friends, especially you, the young people, I want you to know that that is our inheritance. Those people that stood firmly are our forefathers and our foremothers, and their blood is running in our veins. We are them in the current state, and we must not be intimidated. They stood and fought. They were less educated than us. They did not have technology. They were less informed than us, but they stood, they resisted, and they won. But today, that inheritance is being stolen from us. The promise of independence has been hijacked by a small group which rules us through fear, through corruption, and through the abuse of state power. Land is stolen, elections are manipulated, youth are brutalized, women are raped, and even men are raped as a way of humiliating them. Citizens are treated like slaves on their own land. Let us be clear, brothers and sisters. This is not stability, this is occupation by greed. And so, as we begin this year 2026, we say this without apology, that Uganda will not surrender. The Ugandans are not going to surrender their country. We are often asked what our weapons are. What do we have as weapons to fight back against oppression and dictatorship? Our answer is always clear and bold. Our only weapons are the Ugandan flag passed to us by our founding fathers and mothers, and of course the ballot. For the flag, it is not theirs, it is ours. The country, it is not theirs, it is ours. The future, it is not theirs, it is ours. The ballot, that one is sacred. It is the most powerful instrument